Hello everyone, welcome to this session. I just solved this JEE Main Test 98 and here's the analysis of the physics part. So in this paper, the question number 1 I think is beyond your syllabus. Question number 5 is quite mathematical. You need to know that concept of radius of curvature calculation. So I have rated 4 questions as tough and I have rated 6 questions as easy, and this is the remaining 15 as the medium, you can say. So again, it's a good paper. I don't say it's an easy, it's an you can say average or just above average sort of paper because of these questions. And what I expect let's say 7 and 6, that is 13 means that 50. Anyone doing decent in physics should get greater than 50 here, and those who are doing very good should get 75-80 plus in this particular paper. Let's start. First question: the antenna current of an AM broadcast transmitter which is modulated by 50% is 11 ampere. What would be the carrier current? Now this is beyond your syllabus. This is generally not asked. We talk about the voltage. This current formula we don't study. The formula that is happen is the total current IE finally happening is the carrier current into under root of 1 plus depth of modulation, that is m square by 2. That is the formula that I can remember from my engineering, but you should not apply it because that is not in your syllabus, I suppose. So going by this, IC can be written as, using this formula I can write it as IT into root of 2 upon 2 plus m square. Now put the values. This is 11, this is 2 upon 2 plus this is 0.5, that would be, you can say that would be 0.5 square. 0.5 square is equal to 1 by 4. So what we will get, it is 11 into root of 8 by 9. So it is 11 by 3 into 2 into 1.4 to root 2. You can do it. So 22 into 1.4 upon 3. 22 4 is 88. 22 308 by 3. So that's up by 3. Sorry, 30.8 by 3 I should write. So this is 30.8 by 3, approximately 10.3 amperes you can go for. But again, for me it's beyond your syllabus. Better to leave it. If you I don't think you will be remembering this formula. A half a kg ball going with a speed of 12 strikes a hard wall at an angle 30 with the wall. It is reflected with the same speed at the same angle. If the ball was in contact for 0.25 seconds, the average force acting is. So what we have, it strikes at an angle 30 degree with the ball. So it goes like this. So it strikes at an angle 30 degree, leaves at an angle 30 degree, the velocity remaining same, initially also v, finally also v. So what we can do, let's say take it x-axis and take it y-axis. You can say x component won't change, only the y component will change. So the magnitude of delta p would be 2m into vy. That is 2 into 0.5 and vy would be 12 sine 30. Sine 30 is 1 by 2. So what we have, this is 1, 12 by 2, that is 6. So momentum change is 6. So force is equal to delta p by t, that is average force, you can say. This is 6 and this is 1 by 4. So this is 24 Newton. Data look unrealistic. For 0.25 seconds, it's a much higher contact duration. Typically, it is in milliseconds. Next, the first excitation potential of a hydrogen-like atom is V electronic volts. Okay, then the ionization energy is. Now, first excitation potential means EV is equal to that 13.6 into 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 2 square. And what we know with this ionization energy, or you can write it as I. So you can directly say I is equal to I, and you can write it as 3 by 4. So you can directly that is equal to 4V by 3 electronic volt. From this given information you can make out. Next, a liquid is kept in a cylindrical vessel which is rotated along the axis. Okay, if the liquid rises at its side, if the speed of the vessel is this and the speed of rotation is this, the difference in height of the liquid at the center of the vessel and its side is. So we did this question, I suppose, yesterday, and we got this result that H is equal to R square omega square by 2G. You can just remember this, or you can recollect the question. Probably we did yesterday in yours or the JEE NEET, I don't remember, but this is the result that we got yesterday. So what is it, this H we are searching for? The radius is 0.05 square. Omega 2 means it is 4 pi radian per second whole square divided by 2G. So it is 1 by 20, so 1 by 400 I can write. This is 16 pi square, this is 20 I can write. So what we are left with, pi square is cancelled with 10 typically in this cases. This is 8, this is 1 by 50, 1 by 50 is 0.02 meters. Go for option D. Next one, car moves uniformly along the horizontal sine curve like this. Okay, R a certain constant. Coefficient of friction between the wheels and the road is equal to K. The maximum constant speed at which the car can travel without crucial word is it is horizontal, so it is in a horizontal plane, so the 10 mg won't be there, the providing the centripetal force. So whatever we have, that friction is providing mv square by r, and I know that should be less than equal to mu smg. Now what we can do, this mu smg or kmg, whatever you can write, let me write it as k. So what we have, v square by r should be less than equal to kg, the things you can have. And what would be the radius of curvature? Now radius of curvature won't be same because the curve is not a perfect circle, it's something like this. So what we can do here, I have to just find the radius of curvature at any point. I need to find what would be the radius of curvature at any point. So how to find this radius of curvature? First of all, so radius of curvature is at any point can be determined. Again, I think this is somewhat beyond, I don't know if you study in maths or something. The radius of curvature of such a curve is defined as 1 plus, you can say, y prime, or y prime means the first derivative, 1 plus y prime square to the power 3 by 2 divided by y double prime. This is a standard result that is derived in mathematics for the radius of curvature. So I think if you have studied, you can do, otherwise there is no point in it. So what we need to find out, first of all, we need to find this y dash, which simply means dy by dx, that is what we write. So dy by dx here would be a by alpha, and it would be cos of, what we can say, it is x by alpha. Y double dash, if I have to do, it would be, what we can say, cos is minus sine, so it would be minus a by alpha square sine of x by alpha. So if I do this in this result, this is 1 plus y dash square, that is a square by alpha square cos square x by alpha to the power 3 by 2 upon this y double dash comes out as minus a by alpha square sine of x by alpha. Now for the limiting case, maximum speed case, we need r to be, what we can say, v square is less than, so maximum speed will depend on the radius thing, where the radius is minimum, the speed will be maximum, you can say. So what could be the minimum radius here? So minimum radius, what we can make it out. Looking at this expression, r is minimum when this becomes 1 and that becomes 0, so that becomes 1 upon a by alpha square, or you can directly say that is alpha square by a. Positive, negative doesn't matter here, so it will be simply alpha square by a, you can write. So putting in that, what we will get here, V max in this case would be kg into r minimum is alpha square by a. That is what we are getting. So what we can take, alpha we can take it out and it becomes kg by a. So going by this is question A, option A. Again, it's not going to be that easy to solve for you. Next, in the two setups of YDSE, the light used are in the ratio of the wavelength 1:2. Then fringes of equal width are observed. The ratio of slit separation is 2:1. Then the ratio of the distances will be straightforward. Fringe width, you know, is lambda d by d. So lambda 1 d1 upon d1 is lambda 2 d2 upon d2. So this d1 by d2 is lambda 2 by lambda 1 into d1 by d2. So lambda 2 by lambda 1 is 2:1, d1 by d2 is 2:1, so that comes out as 4:1. Straightforward, go for option 4. Next, the bob of a pendulum is released from a horizontal equilibrium position A. The length of the pendulum is 1.5. Then what is the speed with which the bob arrives at the lowermost point given it dissipated 5% of its initial energy? So this is the new thing here. So simply what we can say, still what we write, typically mgh is the loss. So instead of loss, I will say only 0.95 will be used to increase the kinetic energy because 5% is dissipated. So 95% loss is converted into that V. So V comes out as 0.95 into G is 10. H is what you have, 1.5 into 2, that is what you have. So what we are left with, this is 15 into 2, that is 30 into 0.95, that is 28 whatever we can have it, it would be 28.5, I can make it out. So it would be root of 28.5 if I am right. Yes, hopefully I am right. So 28.5, that is what you have here. 28.5 or something, whatever be, I am not, let me calculate it first of all. 3 5s are 15, 1, yes, 28.5. So it would be 5 point something. Okay, there is many things, 5 point something here. So now what would be 28.5 here? Now if it will be depending, G is 9.8 or 10 also, they are not given it, so I am going with 9.8 thing. Now 28.5, let me check for 5.3. 5.3 into 5.3, if I do 53 threes, I have 159. 53 fives, I have 530 and half, that would be 265. 265 and 5, that is 280. So it is 28.09. So it would be closer to 5.3. I suppose 5.5 would be too much. I can check. 5.5 into 5.5, 55 fives are, you will have as 275. So 275 plus 27, that would be 275, and we will have 295 and 3025, so that would be 30.25. So clearly 5.3 is the most appropriate one for here. Next one. What should be the velocity of an electron so that the momentum becomes equal to that of a photon of wavelength this much? Okay, so the momentum of photon, you know, is equal to E by C. E by C is h by lambda. So that h by lambda should be, what should be the velocity of the electron so that its momentum. So momentum of electron, you know, P is equal to, lambda is equal to h by P. So momentum would be equals to, that means the lambda should become same. Okay, so momentum should become same, that is equal to P of electron, and P of electron is equal to mv. So V of electron would be h upon m lambda. H is 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34. Lambda is 5200 into 10 to the power minus 9, and the mass of electron, you know, is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31. So it is 31 and 940. So this is 10 to the power 6 and 2. I can take it out to 10 to the power 4. I can write into 6.63 upon 52 into 9.1. What I can do? So what we have, let me write it as 100 into 663 upon 52 into 9.1. So 52 into 9.1 would be 450, 460 something. So it would be 1 point something or 1.4 something into this. So it would be, let me once again check the power. 31 and 940. This is 38, 10 to the power 4. I did 10 to the power 2. I am taking, this is 140 I am getting here. Okay, I can find out one mistake. This is angstrom, so it is 10 to the power minus 9. No, it is 10 to the power minus 10. So better I write it as 520 into 10 to the power minus 9. That would be better now. So one power increases. So one power will increase. So it will be, yes, 1400. Now it's correct. I was wrong. So I just missed the power, but luckily I can still make it. It is 1400, not 1000. Sorry. It is 1400 meter per second. Next. Bulb is rated at 100 volt, 100 watt. Okay. So it can be treated as a resistor. Find out the inductance of an inductor that should be connected in series with the bulb to operate the bulb at its rated power with the help of AC. Okay, so in AC it should have 100. So what we can directly write, we know VR square plus VL square is equal to V source square. So VL square would be, what we can say, 200 square minus 100 square. So VL must be equals to 100 root 3. That means it has a drop root 3 times. So what we need, XL should be equal to root 3R. So what is the value of the XL? XL we know is omega L, that is 2 pi into 50 into L is equal to root 3R. R you can write as, we just say P rated as V rated square by R, that is V rated square by P, 100 by 100 into 100, so that comes out as 100. So this 100 is still goes from here, so L comes out as root 3 by pi in this case. So go for this option D, it is root 3 by pi Henry. You must have done such type of problems in your practice sessions. A closed pipe 22 cm excited by 1875 Hz source forms standing waves. Okay, the number of pressure nodes formed in the pipe are. So what we can do here, 1875 would be equal to, you can say, 2n minus 1 times V by 4L. So this 2n minus 1, or the mode which we are getting, we can calculate 1875 into 4 into 0.22 upon V is 330. So what we are left with, 11 table, this will be, let's say 22 by 100 I can write. So it would be 2 and it would be 30. So now what is we are left with in the 3 table, I can make it out, it is cancelled. So it would be 8 into, let me write it as 10 to the power 3, 3 are divided, so it would be 6 to 5. So 6 to 5 into 8 into 10 to the power minus 3, that is what we are getting. So simplifying this, 8 into 6 to 5 upon 100, so 25 table. 25 table, this comes out as 25, this comes out as 40, again this is 5, this is 25 by 5, that is 5. That means it is 5V by 4, or you can say it is fifth harmonic. So it is fifth harmonic. So in fifth harmonic, the shape, I remember there will be 2.5 lobes forming. So it is like this. this would be the situation. So how many nodes in the pressure nodes? Okay, pressure nodes. So what we have taken, this is displacement figure. For the pressure figure, it would be reverse. It would be reverse, meaning it would be like this. So pressure nodes would be 1, 2 and 3. 3 pressure nodes are going to be formed here. So pressure nodes would be 3 in this particular case. Next, the magnetic field at P in the arrangement shown is, let me check where is P. Okay, so how we can find out this? So what we can do here, we will calculate the magnetic field due to both. Let's say this is 1, this is 2. Because of the 1, if you check, the direction would be downwards. Because of the 2 will also be downwards. So first due to B1, what we can write? We can write it as mu naught I upon, if I do this perpendicular distance, this perpendicular distance will be, and this would be like this. This distance won't be d, it would be like this. This is d, so it would be d by root 2. So 4 pi into d by root 2, and one of the angle, this is 135. So it is cos 135. One is going to be 0, that is cos 0 is 1. So it is mu naught I upon, I can write it as 2 root 2 pi d, and this will become 1 minus 1 by root 2. This is due to first one, and if I take for due to the second one, it will still be same. So B1 will be equal to B2. So the net field is going to be double of this, that is mu naught I upon root 2 pi d into 1 minus 1 by root 2, and direction you have taken it to be inwards. So this is option A, directly you can make it out. Next one. Two large identical plates are placed in front of each other at D and 2D respectively. If charges Q1 minus 5Q, the potential versus distance for 0 to 3D is going to be, okay, so let me check it like this. So because of this effect, the field would be let's say coming towards here. Here the field again would be coming towards here, and the field here would be coming towards here because of this. So when we go here in the direction of field, potential should decrease. So it is decreasing, here decrease and here increase. So what we have option B is wrong because in between it increases. Option C, it also wrong because it increases in the first part. So we are left with two choices, A and D. Now between A and D, how to make it out? So how to make it out? I can directly say here the fields subtract, here the fields subtract, but here the fields add. So here field is stronger, so the potential gradient would be more. So it would be more. So in A and D you can make it out. D, the potential gradient is less here, here it is more. So I will go for option A in this particular case. Next one, dimensional formula of magnetic fluxes. So this is the same question we need today also. So I use this what we say, the Faraday law. E is minus delta phi by delta t. So E is minus phi by t you can write. So the dimension of phi would be E by t. E is work done per unit charge into t. Now work you know is ml2 t minus 2 times t, and that is at. So what we are left with, this would be ml2 t minus 2 a minus 1. Go for option A for this particular case. Next one, you have a disk, uniform, mass m, radius r, supported vertically by a pivot at its periphery. A particle of capital M is fixed to the rim and raised to the highest point above the center. The center system is released from rest and it can rotate about pivot freely. The angular speed of the system when its attached object is directly beneath the pivot is. So when it reaches beneath the pivot, the situation would be something like this. This would be, so what is the loss in the potential energy? This was 2r up, now it is 2r down. So it is 4 mgr loss, and for the cm of it, it is r and r 2r. So it is 2 mgr, that is the loss, and that should be equal to half I of system into omega square. Now what is I of system? For the disk, what we can write, disk about tangential axis is 3 mr square by 2, small m I should write. So it is 3 mr square by 2, and for the particle it is at a distance 2r, so m into 2r square. So that is what you can do. So I can take it out, r square common, it would be 3m by 2 plus 4, that is what I can write. So that omega would be equal to under root of 2, I can take 4 common, that would be 4 gr common, it would be 2m plus m I can write upon this I would be r square into 3m by 2 plus 4m, that is what we have got. And what we are given, okay, the mass of both is same, I am taking it differently, no point in it. So it would be 3, so it would be 12 gr, and if I divide it here, it would be 3 by 2 plus 4. 3 by 2 plus 4, that is 8 plus 3, 11 by 2. So 11 by 2 r square, I can make it out. So it is root of 24 by 11 g by r, I can make it out. So go for option A in this case. So A1 is the right one here. Next one. Piece of ice falls from a height h so that it melts completely. Only 1/4 of the heat produced is absorbed by the ice and all of the energy of ice gets converted into heat during its fall. The value of h is going to be, so I can say 1/4 of mgh is equal to m into L, you can say. So what you can get, the value of h is going to be 4L by g. So 4L, L is what? 3.4 into 10 to the power 5 and g is 10. So it is 4 into 3.4, 4 4 is 16, and this is 113.6 into 10 to the power 4 meters, or you can write it as 136 kilometers. It's a great height, 136 kilometers. Next one. 80 kg of a radioactive material reduces to 8 kg. 80 to 8, that means 1 by 8, that means this is 3 t half. So 3 t half is 60 minutes. So t half is equal to 20 minutes, I can directly say, or you can say it is 20 into 60, 1200 seconds. So lambda you can know is ln2 by t half, or you can say it is 0.693 upon 1200. So what we are left with, you can write it as 0.693 upon 1200. So this is I can write it as 10 to the power minus 4, and it is 0.693 upon 0.12. I can write like this. So if I do the table of 12, it would be 12 into 69, that is 5, and that 93 would be 57. So it would be 5.7 something into 10 to the power minus 4. So go for 5.8 into 10 to the power minus 4 in this particular case. Next one. Image of an object approaching a convex mirror of radius of curvature 20 meter long. Its optical axis is moved from 25 to 3 to 50 by 7 and 30. If the object is moving uniformly, then its speed is going to be, here they will do like they did in the NCERT solved example, you remember. So it is observed to move from 25 by 3 to 50 by 7 in 30 seconds. If the object is moving uniformly, then its speed is. So first of all, what we can do, corresponding to this, what is the object's first position? So 1 upon 25 by 3, because it is a convex mirror, so it would be a virtual image, so it would be positive, plus 1 upon, let me write it as u1 would be equal to 1 upon 10, because f is equal to r by 2, and because it is convex mirror, it would be positive. So 1 by u1 is 1 by 10 minus 3 by 25, that you can write. So what we have now, this is 25 and 10, this is 50, this is 5 minus 6, so minus 1 by 50. So u1 initial position is minus 50, that is 50 centimeters away. Similarly for the second case, 1 upon 50 by 7, or I can write 7 by 50 plus 1 by u2 is 1 by 10. So the second position is 1 by 10 minus 7 by 50, it is minus 2 by 50, that is u2 is minus 25. So it has moved 25 meter in 30 seconds. So it moves 25 meter in 30 seconds. So speed of the object would be 25 meter in 30 seconds. So it is 5 by 6 meter per second. If you have to convert it into kmph multiplied by 18 by 5, this comes out as 3 kmph. So go for option A. Next one, you have what you have, a large flat metal surface has a charge density plus sigma. Okay, electron mass and charge rho leaves the surface at a point A with speed u and returns to it at point B. Disregarding gravity, the maximum value of AB is. So maximum value, here what you will have, just look at it carefully. Because of this attraction thing, the G factor will be increased. That will become G plus QE by M, that is rho. E is sigma by 2 epsilon naught upon M. So what we can say that R max you know is U square by 2G. That is the case for 45 degree, that will become 2G factor. So U square upon 2G G factor you need to write. So let me put it inside. It would be 2G plus what we can have G plus, okay, I think that they have not disregard gravity. Okay, they have given, I have missed that. So it would be the G here. So it would be only G is this thing. So just write it this is a rho sigma, and that will come out as 2 epsilon naught M. Here you will get, so 2 U square epsilon naught M by rho, that is option C here. Easy one for you. Next, gas is heated in such a way that its pressure and volume both becomes doubled. Okay, if they then by decreasing temperature some of the molecule in air has been added in container to maintain the doubled volume and pressure. Assuming 1/4 of the initial number of moles have been added, by what fraction the temperature must have been raised finally of initial absolute temperature. So let me have, it is P naught, V naught, T naught. Now initially what you did, pressure, volume both will double, moles remaining same, so it is 2 P naught, 2 V naught, so you can directly make it out the PV product proportional to temperature, so that has become 4 T naught. Now you are adding moles to make the temperature the added, what we assuming in order to maintain the double volume by decreasing temperature, some of the molecules of air has been added in a container to maintain double volume and pressure, assuming 1/4 is added. By what fraction the temperature must have been raised finally of initial. So finally what we will have, the product will remain 4 times. So what we can say, 4 N naught T naught would be equal to 4 N naught plus 1 by 4 into T final. I should write like this. So what we have, not 4 N naught plus 1 where temperature is T final, 4 factor won't come, that was 4 T naught. I should write it as N naught into 4 T naught, that would be the better thing. Okay, because the pressure volume is remaining same, so that NT product remains same. So what we will have, this would be 5 by 4 N naught T final, this is N naught 4 N naught T naught. So N naught get cancelled, T final becomes 16 T naught by 5. So it is 16 by 5, it has been raised, so 16 by 5, go for option B. Nice question here. Next one. Body executes a SHM 20 seconds, its velocity is 5 cm per second, 2 seconds after it has passed the mean position. So 2 seconds you can make it out as T by 10. 2 seconds you can make it out as T by 10. So at T by 10, if I go by, because it is passing from mean position, let me write it as A sin omega t, that is 2 pi T by 20 into T. So T by 20, omega is T by 20, omega is T by 2 pi by T, so that means 2 pi by 20, sorry. So it would be A sine of, what we can have, this is 2 seconds, so this is 2 pi by 20 into 2. So it comes out as the A sine of pi by 5. This is the coordinate x. So it is A sine of pi by 5 you are given. Now sine pi by 5 is sine 36. Now cos 36 is given, so sine 36 degree you can write it as root of 1 minus, or we will work with cos 36, no need, because we will write v is equal to omega under root of. So if I do this, this is omega is 2 pi by 20 and a square minus x square, if I will do it would be a square, a will be common, 1 minus sine square theta, that will come out as cos square theta. I can directly write cos pi by 5, and this is 5 centimeter per second. So what we are left with, and now amplitude I can write as 5 into 20 upon 2 pi, and that cos pi by 5 is 0.809 you are left with. So it is let's say 10, this is 50 upon 0.809 into pi, so 3.14 I can say. So now 3 8s are 24.25 something it would be having, so it would be closer to 20 I suppose, so it would be very close to 20. I can go for, if I completely solve it, is 19.67 centimeter. Go for option A, C, let's say. Next, ball is dropped from a height of 5 meters. What is the time after which ball stops rebounding if the coefficient of restitution between the ball and the ground is half? You know this question, you will have to form a GP. Let's say it is dropped from a height 5 meter. Let's say the speed was u0, and after first collision it becomes u1, well v1 will become e times v0, you can write, let's say v0, e times v0, it will come back again strike, and now v2 will become e square v0, and we can say the time would be, first of all the time taken would be root 2 h by g to fall. The second time what we will write, you can say the height raised, you can directly say, because speed has become e times, so height will become e square times, so it would be 2 e square h by g, but would be twice because it will go up and go down, plus 2 I can take common, or let's say let me write it like completely. Second time it would be 2 times root of 2 e square h by g. Next time it would be 2 times 2 e to the power 4 h by g, and this would be an infinite GP. So what I can write, root 2 h by g, plus here what I can take it out, I can take it out as 2 root 2 h by g as a 2 h e square by g, common it would be 1 plus e square sort of thing, infinite GP. So it would be, what we will have, root 2h by g plus 2 times root of 2h e square by g, it will become 1 upon 1 minus e. Now put the value. So it would be 10 by 10, that is 1, plus 2 times 10 by 10, 1 into e square is 1 by 4, into 1 upon 1 minus 1 by 2, do the calculation, 1 plus it will become 1 and it will become 2, so it becomes 3 seconds is the complete duration that it will be jumping. Next, two cells have internal resistance 0.2, 0.4 connected in parallel, same polarity, voltage across the battery terminals is 1.5, the EMF of the first is 1.2, that is the EMF of the second cell. So what I can say, E equivalent in this case is equal to what we can say, E equivalent is you typically write as E1 by, okay, are connected in parallel with the same polarity, so no external voltage. I should first draw it because that might be some issue in that. So let me, with same polarity, let's say like this. So this is E1, this is R1, this is E2 and this is R2. So there will be a loop, and let's say whoever will be the greater one, because the EMF of the first cell is lesser than the voltage across the battery terminals is 1.5. okay, so that means across it is greater than E1. Let's say if I take it as 1.5 and if I take it as 0.2 and its R2 is 0.4, so it is it is 1.2. let me do it, and because the terminal is 1.5, I can directly make current will be flowing like this. So current in the circuit would be E2 minus E1 upon R1 plus R2. okay, and what you have, E1 plus IR1 is given as 1.5, so 1.2 plus I into R1 is 0.2 is 1.5, so I is equal to 0.3 upon 0.2, that is 1.5 ampere. So I is 1.5 ampere, so 1.5 ampere is E2 minus E1, E2 minus E1, what you will have, that would be E2 minus 1.2 upon, this is 0.6, 1.5 into 0.6 is 0.9, is E2 minus 1.2, so E2 comes out as 2.1 volts in this particular case, so answer would be 2.1. Now the next, an astronomical telescope has objective and eyepiece of 40 and 4 respectively. To view an object 200 centimeter from the objective, at what distance the lens must be separated. Okay, so now where you want to view, that would be an important thing here. So let me assume that we are viewing it where we will be viewing, let me check it first. Because the distance is given from the objective, so for objective lens I can write the equation 1 by V1, let the first image, minus 1 upon minus 200, it is equal to 1 upon 40, I can write. So what we get as 1 upon V1, I'll get as 1 upon 40 minus 1 upon 200, taking the LCM, it comes out as 4 by 200. So this comes out as 4 by 200, that is 1 by V1, that means V1 is 50 centimeters. So it forms an image at 50 centimeters. So let me draw it like this. This is the first lens, this is the object, and let's say it is the image I1, it is being forming here, and this distance you are given as 50, and what we have, the focal length of this is 4 centimeters. So if I take the case of what we can directly say, if in the case of we take of normal adjustment, if we take at normal adjustment, so in the normal adjustment this should be the focus of the second lens, that means this length should be equals to the f2 f of e, which is 4 centimeters. So in that case the separation between them d would be equal to 50 plus 4, that is 54 centimeter. If you have that near point adjustment, answer could be different, but generally typically for astronomical telescope we take normal adjustment because that is what we are given in NCERT and that is what is usually taken. Next, a planet is revolving around the sun in an elliptical orbit having the eccentricity E equals to pi by 4. Okay, so you are all math student, you know what is the meaning of eccentricity. If the time period of revolution is 16 months, and find the time taken by the planet in going from A to B in months. So what would be the time it takes to go from A to B in months? So you need to just calculate this area. What would be this area? So this area, because we know the area would be proportional to that time, dA by dt remains constant. So this one area, you know, this is 1/4 of the elliptical area, this one, and this is the triangle's area. And now eccentricity will work for you, how you can take it out. So we can take this area, and this required area is A by 4, that is the total area, plus what we need to find out this triangle's area. So this triangle's area, if eccentricity is given, you know this distance, if this is B, this distance is equal to A times E, that you typically write. So that would be equal to half times AB into E, that is half times AB into E, and AB into E comes out as AB into pi by 4, and you know pi AB is the total area, so that is A by 4 plus A by 8 you are getting, so that means this is 3A by 8, so 3/8 of the area, so the time taken would be 3/8 of the period, that is 16 months, so 2 into 3, that is going to be 6 months in this particular case. Data is simplified, question you could do. Next, a 1.56 into 10 to the power 5 joule of heat is conducted through 2 meter per second square wall of 12 centimeter thick in 1 hour. Okay, the temperature difference between the two sides is 20 degree. What is the thermal conductivity? So what we have it in 1 hour, so in 1 second what we can write, 1.556 into 10 raised to power 5 upon 1 hour means 3600. That would be equal to K A is 2 d dt by dx, that is 20 by 0.12 I can write. So the value of the K comes out as, I can write it as 1.56, I can write it as 12 into 10 to the power 3 upon 2 into 20 into 3600, so 2 and 1 0, 3 zeros go on, this is 3, so what we are 1.56 upon 4 3s are 12, what we have, this is 1.56 by 12 we are getting, so this would be point, if I do 136, that is 0.13, so answer is 0.13. So this was today's paper. Thanks for watching, keep preparing, exams are near, we don't know they will be cancelled or not, so assume they will be starting from 1 and give your best. Thank you.